the 8th stage this Wednesday and the 2nd special in Mauritania, also the first loop on this 14th edition. The competitors progressed over many new sections on visible rolling tracks before heading off-piste for a 423-kilometre long special, starting and finishing in Lac Rose. He was unlucky this year. For the second time in the rally, Alessandro Botturi had mechanical problems. After the shock absorber in the 4th special stage, today it's his engine which went at 314 kilometers in. Unlucky for the twice winner of the event. The first of the Motul Extreme riders decided to go for it today in an attempt to catch up with Svitko and Girini. But Javier Flick got lost and beached twice. He spent a lot of time on his bike even though the stage was shorter than yesterday. A bit tired, he preferred not to take risks and keep his 3rd place in the general rankings. I'm managing both the mechanics and myself physically. It's true that I drove a little slower. I'm feeling a bit fatigued. I didn't sleep very well last night. On the other hand, I'm super happy with my navigation. Apart from this mistake at the beginning of the day, I really applied myself following the waypoints and all the tracks and didn't make any mistakes, so that's cool. The finish in Dakar is drawing near and riders are starting to strategize. Starting first this morning, 1 minute ahead of Girini, Svitko let the Italian pass but then stayed hot on his heels. The Slovak had some navigation problems, getting lost 2 times, but he still managed to stay in the wake of Girini, eventually finishing 2nd behind. The Italian rode well, especially in the sand. He caught up with Svitko and did everything he could to put distance between them, unsuccessfully in the end. Girini made up 1 minute in the general ranking. But the hard part starts tomorrow because he will open the stage, setting the first tracks for his pursuers. I believe that tomorrow it's not by attacking that I will come back. But the strategy will be to put pressure on Svitko and hope he makes a mistake. But I know it was going to be difficult. We summarise the classification of this 8th stage. Girini wins with a time of 5 hours 30 minutes and 20 seconds. Svitko is 2nd by 1 minute, then followed by Flick, Wallace, Ulvasta and Tares. In the general, Svitko now leads. Girini remains in 2nd. Javier Flick, the first rider of the Motul Extreme Riders, is 3rd, ahead of Ulvasta, Wallace and Tares. Like half of the competitors, Thomas Tomczak struggled today. The Czech had problems with motor oil before he then got stuck in sand for 3 hours in a shot. He was out there all alone, arriving back to the bivouac very late this evening. Tomczak is struggling, but always in the race. Today he's 10th in his category. Leader of the SSV category, he struggled less than Tomczak today. Jean Dagger-Hayek finishes 3rd in this special stage. Not bad for a novice when you know that the part Senegalese is competing in his 1st rally. The support of Patrick Antonioli as co-driver is also part of his success. David Gerard was smiling again today in his Optimus. Since setting scratch last Saturday, we haven't seen him on the podium for a stage. Today, he finishes 2nd, largely thanks to navigator Pascal Delacour. A fisherman in his day-to-day life, Pascal Delacour was hardly out of place here today.
There
was a lot of navigation. Everything was on course, refine the route. There were some kilometre indications, but we did 80% of the special in navigation. Like on the sea, with my colleagues, whom I salute. The Gerard Delacour crew finished 2nd, just behind their MD teammates. A puncture and 2 or 3 small problems with the connectors inside the vehicle did not prevent them from signing their 3rd scratch at the rally. It was really a special for navigation.
Beaucoup de changements de direction.
There were a lot of changes of direction, wadi crossings where we sometimes turned around because we were not in the right wadi. Then there were a lot of direction changes with headings to follow, which were very important, and tracks very little marked, very little visible given the vegetation. On this special, we even saw large bodies of water that were quite impressive for Mauritania, where it's very hot.
Où il fait très très chaud.
The classification of this 8th stage is therefore as follows. Victory for the 204 in 6 hours 14, 11 minutes and 48 ahead of the 202. In third, it's the first SSV, that of Jean Dagger-Hayek, and the first truck, Tomchek, is 10th. In the general, no change. The 204 is still in the lead, ahead of Jean Dagger-Hayek's SSV. Italy's Tronconi moves to third at the expense of Dutchman Meyer, now fourth. That's it for today. Tomorrow, the 9th stage, with a lot of dunes. A typical Mauritanian stage, a relatively difficult 41 kilometers long between Akjoujt and Idini. And now we leave you, as usual, with some of the most beautiful images of the day. Bye!